try that again. What's up, everybody? Random Sunday stream with SaturnDave here. I've got a few folks in the voice chat, and I think the mic should be unmuted now. Apologies for
everyone.
that. Hey, Emerald, how's it going?
Shit. Not bad.
So yeah, we got Night of Dragon, Chrono Lake, Emerald, and Random in here in the chat.
I got a job, boys.
Gotta make sure I have everything turned down on this end so I don't get feedback. Okay, cool.
2 streams in 1 month.
2 streams, I know, right? Yeah.
Breaking records.
We're trying. We'll see. This is an old stream overlay that I did back during the pandemic, and I figured I'd bring it out, dust it off, and you got the close up view. And then, oh, too close. No, we'll keep it out here so folks can see the comments. So we've got.
Now I gotta go on YouTube.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, you know what? That's right. I could just I'll do virtual camera so you guys can see it in the. Here we go. I'll turn that on. Okay, you guys see that now in the Discord?
Okay, you got the nice wooden panel.
Yep.
Family Entertainment Center.
The hutch.
The 80s.
Yeah, it's the closest thing I could find to what I had as a kid. It's not exactly what I had as a kid, but it's close. You know?
Does it also come with like the debilitating hand injuries from trying to hook in a
coax?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to. You know? Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. We were rocking coax back then, and that was a step up from the real old RF. You know, but I mean. Like I think I was telling James, like when we actually got composite, that was a big deal. Like it was an upgrade. Stereo audio, you know.
I remember having to help my friends get a 360 behind like a big rear projection in an entertainment unit. So we had to like crawl behind this thing and contort ourselves to hook in the component or the composite video.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout real quick. We got Craig Williamson, Genki Droid, Analog Black Sheep, the Sega guys, probably James on that account, David Zaney, Sega Saturn Lad is here. What's up, Neil Henderson? Den Ramey says need to know what music that is. It's the track is Tower from Magic Knight Ray Earth. Yeah, it is a banger. The whole soundtrack is amazing.
Wait, aren't you gonna get copyrighted for that?
You know, one day I probably will. They haven't caught on yet, but I probably will.
If I even say the word Magic Knight Ray Earth on stream.
Well, that's the thing it's from the game. It's like a chip. I don't want to call it a chip tune. It's actually really nice. It's like a really nice Red Book audio track, I think. But for whatever reason, it's from the game. I don't think if I were to play like the Magic Knight Ray Earth theme, I would totally get flagged. But anyway, Andy Mackey's here, and Moose Track. What's up, Moose Track? Creamy 3D. Yeah, so let's play some of this Cyber Speedway. Sega Lord X did a video about this recently, and I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna play that. It's been years, honestly, since I've played this game. Also known as Grand Chaser in Japan. So, and let me do something real quick to this comment section here. Sign into chat.
Oh yeah, Sega guys. Actually, my playthrough of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 got claimed by some company in Lithuania over the Green Hill theme.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's do free run for a moment. Or actually, I'm gonna look at the options. It's been so long since I've fired up this game that I'm not even sure. Let's go. Let's see here. Yeah, that's good.
Dave, I wasn't here when you fired up earlier. Are you on Saru or are you on Satiator? What Satiator?
I'm on Satiator. I'm on Satiator because I didn't I could easily be on Saru, but I haven't put all the games onto it. Like I've just been testing the Saru, so I have a very tiny SD card in there right now, and so I only have like a handful of games on there for testing. But I need to get like a proper like 512 gig card and just put it on there, and then just load the entire library so I can do some extensive testing.
Yeah, I figured I'd just ask so that the stream would know what you're playing on.
Yeah. LED select. That yeah, so right now I'm on Satiator. I don't have this game on the Saru, unfortunately. What are folks calling it Saru? I've always called it Saru, but I guess the emphasis really is on the double O, so it could be Saru.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm just freewheeling it, so
yeah. What should I go with
here? Is the name based off of something?
I have no clue. I mean, maybe it's like a Chinese reference that I don't get, but
somebody
I mean,
would have to check in with TP Unix and ask them how to pronounce it.
I mean, what's a Google anyway, right? Like words, what do words mean anyway? You know?
I mean, the Google is a number. It's supposed to represent how many search results you get.
I guess that's true. No, okay, I stand corrected. You're right. Okay, I remember this had like, it had like a side strafe mechanic, almost like, which is interesting. Let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah. For a very early Saturn title, the 3D graphics on here are not that bad, I would say. The music is a mismatch for sure.
You see, most Saturn games I don't really recognize on site, but I specifically remember playtesting this one for the Satiator a while back.
Is that right?
Yeah. So like I was, what's the name of this one?
This is Cyber Speedway or Grand Chaser.
Okay, so it was probably under Cyber Speedway because I don't think I got past the C's or D's or something. But yeah, this one was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it's. I think that if you go in expecting it to be like Wipeout, which this actually came out, I believe this came out before Wipeout. So you know, while it may look derivative because you're on this like floaty, floaty futuristic craft or whatever, it's basically its own thing. But it is a lot floatier than Wipeout. I feel like Wipeout is just much more stable. Like the craft is just much more. It handles a little better, whereas this is kind of like.
The more immediate comparison I would draw would be either F-Zero or even Rush 2049.
Do you know those it's like a desk ornament that you can get where it's like a magnet floating in the air. It's like a rotating magnet, and it's like it's just like held there in place. And it kind of like can spin, and it kind of like wobbles. That's what these ships remind me of. They remind me of these like wobbling, kind of like levitating magnet. I don't know. That's a really weird comparison, but
I can imagine how this thing would work. I don't recall.
I took that corner a bit too sharp. Oh. I look at the comments for 1 second, and I end up going headlong into a wall.
Well, David Zaney says the ship looks like a bug.
What?
Does it?
I'm not seeing it. It looks like a spaceship.
Like a beetle. I think he's saying like, you kind of have two halves on top, like.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can see a beetle.
I mean,
I could see a Beetleborg maybe.
A Beetleborg. So I meant to take this wide. I meant to take like, yeah, there we go.
I've never played any of the Jet Moto games. Does this maybe have a feeling of like Jet Moto?
Oh yeah. There's I could definitely sense that to a degree, but Jet Moto, even Jet Moto, I feel maybe like handles a little bit better than this. This is just kind of strange. It's kind of a strange feeling mechanic, but once you get used to it, it's fine.
Yeah, because visually, I think Jet Moto looks kind of floaty too. From the
well, it is. It is. You're on it is floaty, and you're on these bike. You're on these like rocket bikes that are kind of like floating, but they have more of a weight to them. Where like the floating is kind of like more grounded. Like this is just kind of like jittery and wobbly kind of, you know. I think I'm gonna get out and do the what is it, the story mode. We'll try that.
Stoneman asked if it has 3D pad support, but I think it came out too early for that, right?
I don't even know. I feel sad to say that I don't know that, but yeah, I don't. I could try. I have a 3D pad right there.
Let me confirm. What was it called? Cyber
Speedway.
Yeah.
Speedway, all one word, I imagine. No, it's 2 words. Okay.
Man, all the artwork here.
I've got the long box here. It says Arcade Racer.
Oh, Arcade Racer. Okay, well then maybe the 3D pad might be supported, like, in a way.
But I mean, this thing came out in '95. When did Knights come out?
It's 96.
Yeah, so like the pad was specifically designed for Knights.
But they gave everybody the code. They when they were developing the pad, they gave all the other development teams, well, internal SEGA development teams, they gave them the code so that they could like include support. But this was like a third-party dev, so I don't know. Actually, no, wait. This would have been like second party. This would have been like almost like a Tiger Team, right? Because they had even the.
It says SEGA Saturn exclusive on the box.
But was it SEGA that developed it? Who actually developed Cyber Speedway or Grand Chaser? Like who actually? What was the development house? Because I can't recall if it was actually SEGA. Next Tech. There you go. Linkle Liver Story. They did the Resident Evil port. They did they did a few other things. But yeah, so it was Next Tech. There you go. They were. I would consider them to be kind of like a second party developer.
So I can tell you that it supports the arcade racing whatchamacallit, accessory.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Still trying to look up confirmation that it supports the 3D pad.
I didn't realize it was this engine neutral, steering neutral. Wow, you could really get into this. Let's see, speed. Steering.
So based off of Sega Retro, which admittedly is not the best source in the world, it probably does not support the 3D pad.
Oh, Wiener Bob's gonna take me out to dinner for $1.99. You know, it's funny, when I was growing up in Reno, Nevada, like you could actually go to a casino and get like steak and eggs for $1.99. I kid you not. But even then, that was a good deal. Like even then, that was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous casino deal. I mean, they just want to get you. They just want to get you into the casinos so that you'll lose all your money on the slots, basically. So they would like give away food, basically. But nowadays, even those kind of deals don't even exist at casinos. One thing that I enjoyed in Reno was cheap sushi. Like everywhere you went, the sushi was cheap. Even at places that were not casinos, because they had to compete with the casinos. Like the casinos would do like, you know, give out comps and do like really cheap, good sushi, but like it was inexpensive because they just wanted to get you into the casino. And then so all the other sushi restaurants in Reno would do like all you can eat lunch for $20. So it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, because when I go to the middle of the Nevada desert, what I'm looking for is fish.
Right. Okay, fair enough. But no, there were some good places that would get good stuff. I mean, maybe I mean, nothing's going to compare to just, you know, going to Japan and getting some real fresh sushi, but it was good.
Like with modern supply chains, it can get pretty close to Japanese quality if they're doing it right, but like it's still kind of funny thinking that you're going as far inland as you could reasonably go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, James said Sega CS1. Sega CS1 was involved in, and I don't know to what degree, if it was just like advisement, you know, or if they were involved in like the initial design or what, you know. It's interesting.
Stoneman just commented, steering is analog, triggers some air brake or so, acceleration with buttons.
Oh wow, okay, so I just did something. What? Am I not? Oh, okay, so that's the brake. For some reason I was like running out of gas or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Honestly, I don't feel like I need to use the analog controller. Like this feels This feels good. Like, you know how like with Sega, I'm not saying this is anything like Sega Rally, but with Sega Rally, it's like the digital controls are so good you don't really need the 3D analog. And I kind of feel that way with this. Like one like test lap through and I'm pretty much like getting the hang of it. You just have to use the shoulder triggers every once in a while to kind of like turn sharp. So there's a boost.
Like the drift button in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what these buttons do, like the X, Y, Z. Those don't seem to do anything. Oh, did that change my? Oh, it did. Okay, it changed my viewpoint, I guess. Good old early 3D games always had like the different viewing angles or the different viewpoints after Virtua Racing kind of like pioneered that. I mean, when Virtua Racing came out, that was like a feature. Different views, you know, cockpit view. I mean, now that's just, you just take it for granted, but wow, the audio just like glitched out or something.
Thing is, with the early Saturn games, you can never tell if it's because it's the game is
or
buggy
like
or
the
because...
satiator, or
yeah,
I don't know. Like it also could be it could easily be like my computer or whatever, like the capture. I don't know. That's the problem is like with content creation and what we're always changing what we're doing. Like if I'm recording a podcast with like the Sega guys, or we're doing SHIRO show, or I'm doing a stream, and I'm always unplugging and replugging, and this laptop's probably ready to go. Like, cause even the 1/8" jack that I'm using to port sound in, it's kind of like loose and it doesn't feel like a really good fit.
Allow me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit through the story if I don't know how much time I have anyway.
Shadow Mask just joined us. Hey, Shadow.
Hey, Shadow.
Man, it's cold here on Glacies. Well, we made it. This is the real deal. I'm gonna hustle down to the briefing room and warm up before the race.
Silence. Look at this.
Well, no,
stuff.
Shadow joined us in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh, I thought he didn't pop into the Discord.
Oh no, not in the Discord.
Oh, no, okay,
we were
that's
saying
all.
like he's in there.
Oh, I was waiting to hear. I don't think I've ever heard his voice before.
How many mods do we have right now? We have like a few. We have Shadow, David, Zany, and Chronolay, right? And anybody else here? Okay, obviously you're here. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry that I couldn't give you guys like advance notice. I didn't even know that I was gonna do this stream. But my son's playing a soccer game, and I just got back from a bike ride with my daughter, so she's tired and watching a show, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Either play more Persona 5 or stream.
And this race,
you're in the middle of Persona 5?
Make it to the next round.
Yes,
Green
and I'm
instructions
loving
said
it.
It's on autopilot and doesn't count in the rankings. But from now on,
I mean, I don't want to comment on it because if you haven't played it before, anything I say is probably going to end up spoiling something.
Yeah, don't do that.
But I enjoyed the game, but it's so incredibly long that I could not do a replay to try to do the completionist thing I like to do.
Oh, yeah, so like I played about 40 hours and then I wasn't happy with my playthrough, so I started over. And I was like, I don't have time for a new game plus, so I'm like literally I'm doing like a rigorous playthrough where I do everything.
I bet you weren't even halfway through though. Like
what
month were you in?
I'm in early July and I just beat Futaba's Palace. But I've done a ton of other stuff. Like I've maxed out my social link with Anne. I've almost maxed out my social link with most of my other friends, you know. So trying to think what else. Yeah, so I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, I'm way late to the party. I realize I'm playing Royal on the Switch, and this is my first. Yeah.
You want to be late to a party for an SMT game because they always do that you know, special collector's edition whatever thing.
Yeah. Though I admit, like the Switch version looks terrible compared to, you know, even the PS4 version and PS5. Obviously PS5, but no, the Switch version's pretty downgraded in terms of like textures and stuff like that, but it's still fun.
There's only one good SMT game, the rest are just terrible.
And what's that?
Really?
Jack Bros on Virtual Boy.
Sure.
Okay. I was about to say, wow, that is
Maybe you should play
no matter what direction.
That game's awesome.
I don't actually disagree with you that it's awesome, but I do disagree with you that, I mean, like, I'm a fan of most of the SMT games, but the Persona games I absolutely adore.
Okay,
I don't know why.
like,
I just have so much fun playing Persona games.
I find them boring.
Yeah.
The early ones suffer from being overtuned RPGs for the sake of RPGs.
Absolutely. Like, but three on, I think, is like really solid. And now I'm really excited to play the remake of 3, although I'm not sure that that'll come to Switch. I might have to get it on something else. Maybe they'll. Did they put it out on PC?
They don't usually do PC releases.
Persona 3 Reloaded. I mean, I thought they were though. Now, like Persona 5 is on PC.
I mean, what I would do is I would just get Persona 3 FES and a PSP emulator.
Sure.
And just, like, play it on your phone if you want to or something.
I've played Persona 3 FES. I'm looking to play like the remake, the Reloaded one though, that they just put out. Has like better graphics, more cutscenes. It's like a completely redone. Man, this band is like funny story about the Bygone Dogs is that they were the first in an attempt of bands that Sega intended to like actually like record and put out like on a label, like on their own label as like a music artist. And they sound kind of like I really don't know what they sound like. Maybe like a Red Hot Chili Peppers knockoff. But not even, I don't even think that's fair. I'm not sure what they... Let me know in the comments what you guys think they sound like, but they certainly don't jive with this like futuristic racer.
So, how did Crush 40 get their who's their label? Do they have a label or do they just self-publish or what?
Who?
Crush 40.
Crush 40.
Yeah, correct. So like they're the band that did the Sonic Adventure main themes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the Sonic songs.
Yeah. So for a second there, I was mixing the name up with something else. But yeah, they did the song on the intro to like Sonic Adventure 2, right?
Among other things, yeah.
Several others, yeah.
Several. They did the main theme for Sonic Adventure 1. They did Sonic Heroes. I think they were doing most of the main themes for Sonic up until like past 06 even.
Sega guys are headed out.
Oh,
4:30 in the AM.
Yeah, I know. Like they got up really early too to record a podcast, and I was like staying up late. So shouts, James. Appreciate you sticking around for a little while. I didn't even expect him to be on the stream, be in the comments here. Figured he'd be sleeping already, but anyway.
Emerald, who did the music for Sonic on the Wii?
Which one?
The one that you were playing a while ago.
Oh, okay. So the Secret Rings. So Secret Rings. I think the only Crush 40 track on there that wasn't a cover of one of the other songs was "Live Life." There's a whole bunch of no-name bands. I really liked "With Me" by All Ends, the End Boss theme. Basically, the entire Secret Ring soundtrack, kind of like the entire Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack, greatly exceeds the quality of the game that it accompanies. I can't say the same for Black Knight. Black Knight is just like a waste of a game.
Do you know? So for Colors, Sonic Colors on the Wii, and well on several other consoles, wasn't that? It almost sounds like Owl City, like for that intro track or for like the trailer. But I'm sure it wasn't Owl City. It just sounds like very derivative of Owl City.
I now gotta look it up. Who freaking did Reach for the Stars?
Reach for the Stars. Yeah. I'm sure that I'm not the only one who sees that similarity. But yeah.
Performed by Cash Cash. Cash Cash does a lot of cover and remix work for the Sonic games.
Huh.
Well, it's performed by John Makloff from Cash Cash, but like.
Okay.
Cash Cash, like every time Sega does an event somewhere, they always have the Cash Cash remix of the Chow Garden, a bunch of other Cash Cash songs. I think
I
they end
gotcha.
up covering a lot of Sonic Mania stuff too. Oh crap! The Knuckles TV show is out next week.
Really?
Boost Track. I need you to like at me at whatever AM that you find the torrent, or I'm not going to say the word torrent. Whatever you find the resource to the show. You know what? No, I'm just going to constantly monitor Ken Penders' Twitter account the day that this thing comes out.
Yeah.
Because you know he's going to try to sue someone. Like he thinks he owns the concept of the echidna.
Oh sure.
Hey, Scotty Mo, welcome in. Scotty Mo says, "Nice entertainment center, Dave."
Right.
Bringing back like the '80s, the early '80s.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe this is like 90s to me. If it was 80s, it would be like wood paneling, right?
It looks like it's got some wood paneling on the sides when the little flaps are out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his TV would have to be wood.
Yeah, my TV would need to be like
wood.
Exactly.
So there's this retro game shop called Gamers Anonymous here in Albuquerque, and right next door they expanded and opened up a gaming arcade type deal where you pay time to rent out the gaming environment, whatever. And one of the little alcoves they have there is like a bunch of retro games from like NES through the original Xbox, including like a Vectrex system and everything. And they have this kind of setup, only it's like the older TV, like the 80s TV or 70s TV.
Right.
Where the TV is built into the wooden console.
Oh, okay.
And it looks fantastic because they also use nothing but warm lighting and beige and earth tone furniture around it. So it feels exactly like an 80s bedroom or living room.
That's awesome. Yeah, they do the same kind of thing at PRGE. I really love for like the Atari 2600 setup. They use like a wood grain TV console and like an old that 70s show couch kind of thing, you know, and they have lamps set up and it's like the whole vibe, you know, it's like the whole living room vibe. You can just like sit down and play some combat or whatever and have fun that way. They don't really do that for any of the other consoles. I think they should, you know, for like at this point, they should be doing it for the NES and even the Super NES, you know? Or, you know what would be really rad is if they try to like, oh, I'm about to die, I guess. If they try to emulate the whole like mall kiosk thing or like, you know, Target, Walmart kiosk thing, where you had like a bunch of, but then everybody would be craning their necks. But it's funny, I have a little bit of nostalgia for an aching neck from like so many years of just looking up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like now that you're like presumably 5 foot closer to 6 than 5.
True. Yeah, true.
There wasn't a lot of thought put in that design. Now that I think about it, because they should.
Who are these games for, right?
Yeah. Who are they marketing all this toward? Like, obviously, the standard male design height for all furniture in the world, 5'9".
Yeah. Oh,
so Dave, let's talk about some of the mechanics in this game. You got rocket. Are there attacks? What's going on here?
There are attacks, but far be it from me to be able to execute them efficiently. Like, I'm not actually like, I keep trying to fire them, but it's not like they're homing attacks or anything like that. They're basically, it would be like kind of like the green shell. Yeah, it'd be like the green shell. Yeah, so I don't know. The thing is, I'm not like taking the time to like customize my ship. I probably should be. With each successive level, it's gonna get harder and harder, and I'm gonna need to start like actually using the settings to try to like, you know, figure out what way my ship should be.
Is this like super
customized.
hang-on, where you can get super deep in the weeds with the customizations?
It seems like it. Yeah, it seems like it's definitely there. Like, I'll show you. I'll show you guys what you can do. And maybe I'll mess around with it and see. It could end up backfiring, but I'm just fast forwarding through all the story stuff because we can't hear it anyway over our chatting. Let me see here. So yeah, under this dude is, I guess, like the mechanic dude. Just let me get to my ship customization. Okay, here goes. Settings. Under settings, you basically can set engine, steering, brake, and special. Okay, so like I could say engine, speed, or power. Like, do I want speed or power? Considering I crash so much,
you want power for the torque.
Would be good for torque. I wouldn't have any like high-end speed, but steering, I would say, would you want light steering or heavy? What would that mean to you? Like,
I would think of it like you're driving a boat.
Yeah.
And also on that note, torque is not relevant because you don't have wheels. So it's power is probably a better term for that.
Right.
But for the steering, I would imagine you're able to light steering. Maybe you're able to tilt your hovercraft a little bit more, but your momentum is probably still going to keep you going forward. So it's just letting you redirect your power a little bit better.
So should I go heavy or neutral or light?
I
think you should go neutral on that steering, because I feel like if it's light, it's probably like more floaty than it is now, right?
Like, I don't like where it is right now. I feel like it needs to change a little bit, but I don't know which way to change it.
If you're banging into walls, make it heavy.
Okay. So like, I want it to be like, I feel like I'm fighting against it, right? And I'm like straining to try to like turn the craft quickly. So you think heavy is the way to go with that?
I'd say heavy is if you're oversteering, but if you're understeering, go light.
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
So light then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give light a chance, and we'll see what happens. Brake.
Now the brake sounds
I have not been using my brake actually. I have not been using. Have not even using my. I'll leave
who
it
uses a brake in a racing game, really? But I could see where this could be fun with if it's a super soft brake where you can literally just drift into turns by smashing the brake.
Special, you can do boost or shield or weapon. Actually, it's not letting me choose that, so I guess it's just going to be boost then. See what happens here. This is not a bad game. This is it's pretty fun. Like, and I definitely think that if our community like actually gave this game a shot, folks would probably get pretty good at it. It's not
like the next challenge.
I don't think so. I mean, I think the folks, the committee, I guess we're calling it. Oh yeah. No, light is good. Light is good. This feels better. This feels much more responsive. Anyway, I think they've already got a plan. They've got something planned for the next challenge. We were taking a break this month, but they had something else planned. I wanted to do fishing.
When you guys do Sonic Jam, though, I want to do some time attacks.
I don't know how to use the boost. That's the problem. I have this like special power of boost, but I don't know how to use it.
You're using it because the gauge went down a little bit a couple seconds ago.
I think maybe he lost it by banging into stuff.
Oh, I just figured it out. If you hold, it's the same as your gas. Basically, if you hold down your gas, you're just accelerating, right? But if you press the gas again, that's the boost, which I think is kind of a bad design because it's like sometimes you just
kind of have to like double tap it.
Let me see. I just did it right there. I double tapped it. No, that was just like a boost. Basically, if you let off the gas and then you press back on the gas, you're boosting. And that it shouldn't be that way. It should be a different button because you don't always want to boost. Sometimes you just want to let off the gas, you know?
Right.
Anyway, but this is better already. I appreciate these changes. I'm in first, and I feel like I'm in control. It's good.
Did you play any of the Top Gear games on the Super Nintendo?
A little bit, yeah. Not a lot, but I'm familiar with them. I mean, I played on like
from an
Everdrive.
arcadey standpoint, this seems like the 32-bit version of what that kind of arcadey Top Gear would have been.
I tell you what, though, I mean, like, this didn't come out that much. Emerald, can you look up, when did Crash and Burn come out on the 3DO?
Crash and Burn.
Yeah, Crash and Burn.
Is the 3DO... It's October 4th, 93.
Oh, 93? Okay, fine. I was going to say, this looks way better than Crash and Burn. But okay, they're separated by, like, a while, so never mind.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. No, this
2 years is forever in a game development.
In a game development, so yeah. Especially when folks are figuring out how to make 3D games and stuff, you know.
I would say between any new console release, because 2 years later you have an entire new set of consoles to play with. But also it's the 3DO. I don't think anyone bothered to put a lot of effort in the 3DO that I recall.
Yeah.
Welcome, Joseph Bardetta from Sydney, Australia. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Where do you see that? I didn't see it. My phone probably isn't keeping up, I guess. Sometimes it does that.
No,
anyway.
I'm on YouTube. I'm not seeing this guy. I think you're going nuts.
No, it's not. I'm not random. I'm con artist.
Yeah, random's not even in the chat anymore. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. No, your voice had the similar cadence, and I wasn't looking. I'm sorry.
No, Joseph Bardetta's in there.
Yeah.
It's a little while ago, but from Sydney, Australia. He says good morning.
I gotcha. Cool. Yeah, morning or evening or afternoon. For me, it's 3:24 p.m. Pacific.
I'm kind of reminded the other day when we all kind of woke up and added Professor Abrasive at an inappropriate Australian hour. Because of that.
Because of the whole cloning thing.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "What? I can't believe someone would try to do that!" Like just piling on.
Some nerve, right? Like that is.
It was pretty cojones.
You don't think it's possible? You don't think it's possible they bought it like secondhand and they were duped? Do you? Do you think they were just yeah?
The reseller would have to have access to the California factory that's actually making these, and I don't think Abrasive is even aware of any kind of deal because I think he has exclusive rights because he's smart like that. And also, the guy was asking for very specific things that would lead to a reverse engineering situation for months.
I gotcha. So,
So Dave, your boost is trigger buttons.
Well, the trigger buttons. Okay.
I'm looking at the manual right now.
Okay, so let's test that out. Because look at this. Yes. The trigger. This is what the trigger buttons do. They pull me side to side.
How's that? That's what it says.
It's just what it said. Okay. Well, I mean,
it's steering boost.
Oh, it's a steering boost. Okay. Okay, but even when I don't do that, when I just press the acceleration, it shows up like I'm using the boost.
I don't know.
So I mean, maybe there are, and it makes that little noise. It makes that little like gunshot noise. So I'm assuming that there's like different kinds of boost here. But yeah, ouch, this hurts. This track is dark, and it's definitely harder.
I was gonna say that I thought it was gonna be like Double Dash, where you like hard corner into a drift,
yeah,
and then you come out with a boost.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I haven't played Double Dash in a while. Let me just see
I think
here.
all Mario Karts are like that now.
Yeah, all games after that.
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I gotta take a break here. Just a second.
Because they even had to add an additional boost in Mario Kart, where you get like different colors for different boosts.
Out of a kart racer style break around the corner, come out with a boost sort of mechanic.
I don't. I'm not even good at racing games, and I still think that's a little bit too casual.
I wonder what the first game to actually have that was, because
I think it was actually Double Dash. I think Double Dash just didn't. Everyone just kept doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the actual first game that was in Mario Kart. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, but definitely that was the first Mario Kart game to do that.
Yeah, I don't remember there being like a forward boost in this game. Like I don't know. I just used the side to side thing to help with the steering.
And
I also remember
hidden gas.
And I also remember later.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I think I was going to change the subject because I just noticed a spaceship thing in the visualization of the CD multiplayer menu, and I did want to talk about briefly that I think Ponut and Raimi were playing with that and figure out a way to actually do actual audio visualizations on SGL.
Yeah, what exactly did they just figured out how to poke the DSP and make it do stuff? Like how are they going to how are they going to use that? Like what practical application?
It's already like a thing that was in SGL that like I guess nobody really noticed or anything.
Right.
But like there's a ready to go DSP program.
Right. And it's in the BIOS,
SGL.
right?
I don't know if it's in the BIOS. I think it's just in SGL.
Okay.
And like somewhere, and just nobody ever used it until Bramy did that little demo, but like
Nice.
now you could do things like someone could remake like Res or maybe not Vib Ribbon, but like
Oh my God, that would be
Audio
amazing.
Surf or something.
Oh. When
like,
you said
you
you
just
had
take-
me at Res, you had me at Res. Honestly, if somebody in the homebrew community can make like a synesthesia game, you know, where it's like kind of like there's like music. Oh, get random to do some tracks, you know, and then have it. That would be amazing.
All right, I gotta cut out, guys. Thanks for letting me jump in.
Is that Chrono?
Yeah, it's Chrono.
You got to cut out. Okay, well, happy rest of your Sunday and have a good week. Sorry,
and the last thing I was looking at the Cyber Speedway manual since I have the long box here. The boost is just for extra steering control.
Ah, okay. So yeah, it was like Knight said then. It was just like Knight said. It's just steering boost. But then I have no idea why. I have no idea why though. When you take your finger off of the acceleration and then you put it back on, it makes that gunshot noise, and then the boost, it looks like it's depleted. See that? Like that. I'm just pressing the gas right now, and it's like depleting my boost.
I think it also gives you a little bit of boost when you button mash if you really want to, but
Yeah.
apparently it feels like an indictment on the game itself by its own creators saying, yeah, we know the controls are bad, here's a way to mitigate it.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that it's because it's anti-gravity, you know? Like they kind of had the same thing going on with Wipeout, but they were just able to like kind of refine it a little better. But I mean, since your craft is floating and you're not actually touching the ground, there is no like real friction or gravity, and so you kind of need that ability to be able to turn a little sharper. I mean, they did the same thing with what is it, F-Zero, you know? You have like you hold the shoulder button and then you kind of like turn a little sharper, you know?
Putting the room into first-person mode to help with the frame rate, 'cause that's usually something that helps with
Oh yeah, let's give that a shot. The
levels are getting more. I've noticed the levels are getting more busy now, so
They are.
the frame rate's dropping.
Okay,
Yeah, but you're only gonna buy like 50 quads or something, right?
I don't know. It helps sometimes. Like you can get rid of the mirror in F1 Challenge, and that helps with the frame rate significantly.
Hmm.
The rear view mirror.
Oh yeah, because it's having to render all of your opponents
Behind you, yeah.
F1 Challenge is a great game, by the way. Like
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Wait, what did I have? A neutral brake? I had neutral. Okay, I don't really care about that. Okay, so I will try to go first person and see how that goes. Hey, Saturn Memories is here in the Discord chat.
Hey.
Well, that's me. Yep.
That is you. I didn't realize. I thought it was Chrono again. I thought it was still Chrono.
No, he left.
Okay,
I've been sitting in here. I've been sitting in here a while. I was. You guys
Nice.
were. There really wasn't an opportunity to interject. So
yeah. Okay. I wasn't. I hadn't looked over, so I didn't know who was speaking up. And for a second there, I thought that was just Chrono. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you're absolutely right. Immediate improvement in the frame rate, and perhaps even in the control, just because it's.
Yeah, I mean, you're not having to render your own vehicle, so
This is true. And sometimes it's distracting how much the vehicle kind of like does that wobbly thing, where it like kind of like bobbles up and down. It's a strange kind of floaty mechanic, but let's see if I can. Well, I'm in first, so I really don't need to fire my weapon. Playing this like an idiot. I mean, but then again, I really haven't played this in a while. I think the last time I played this was when I picked up a long box of it in like 2017. So it's been a while. But
yeah, I
like I
later
said,
on.
I think. Oh, what's up?
I was gonna say, I remember later on there are some situations where you definitely are gonna want to use your weapon because the AI definitely gets better as the game goes along.
Now, is there like some kind of a shopping mechanic in here where you can like buy stuff, or is it just?
I forget how it works. Whether you just get like more bays for certain things, or I don't know. It's been so long since I played this game. Yeah. I remember there are shortcuts in some of the levels. Like there's one level where there's mines all over the track, and there are shortcuts to get around those sections.
Yeah.
I remember you guys were talking earlier about whether or not the 3D pad was supported.
Right.
And I don't know specifically, but if the game supports the wheel, there's a good chance that it at least has some functionality with the 3D pad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's weird.
I mean,
because...
the trigger.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that the triggers might not work. I think that's usually the common pitfall, but the analog steering should definitely work.
Yeah, but with the wheel, for instance, it's really only twisting on a single axis, right? Whereas, like with the analog pad, it's going in all cardinal directions, right? So it's like I've heard people say you have to like hold it up and then like kind of turn it sideways in order to emulate like the way a steering wheel turns.
No, not at all. I'm telling you, like one game that it works brilliantly with is Gale Racer, which was like a game that came out the week after the Saturn launched in Japan. So like still like November '94.
Right.
And it's actually way more playable with the 3D pad, which wasn't even in existence at that point, than it is with the wheel, with the official wheel that the game supports. And it's definitely better than just using the digital controller.
Well, I came in first, and the game was over, so I did something wrong. I just decided to start over.
There's more to the game. There's definitely more to the game.
There's definitely more to the game. Like if I came in first and it's still game over, then I missed a trick. But I'm more interested in the chat. So Cyber Speedway. Yeah.
Designs by Sid Mead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did the sleds. I have to say the music is a lot better, and maybe I can do that. Maybe I'll do a soft reset here because I can now with the Satiator menu Kai, and see if we can put on the Japanese version.
I would. Yeah, the music's way better.
Way better, right?
Version.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. And see if there are any other differences we might notice. But
Japanese voice acting.
So that would be, what was it again? Grand Chaser.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Grand Chaser. How's the archival project coming along?
I had to take a break. I'm so fucking burnt out on doing that. I'm sorry.
I don't. No, that's okay. It's okay. It's not in the first 7 seconds.
I don't know if I need to keep this PG or not. How you run your stream, man? I'm sorry.
We are fast and loose. In fact, sometimes I have to warn Pat not to curse like in the first minute or whatever. That's usually all I'm worried about is just like open it up clean and then just let the F-bombs fly. All right.
The kids are all napping.
Right.
I didn't used to swear like a sailor, but then I spent 5 years in my workplace, and now that's all I do.
Yeah, my wife says I swear too much. But the thing is, I usually don't even have to because Pat like more than makes up for it. So like on our streams, I'm usually. What's that?
Don't effing swear, you effing F.
You effing F. Oh man. Okay, let's do story mode again and see if I can figure out what I'm supposed to do.
I can tell you an experience. I don't know if you've had this one, but now that you've had more than one kid, nothing is more interesting and shocking than having your 3-year-old offspring come out and use F-bombs in proper context.
Fun. Yeah, no, that has not happened yet. Although my 10-year-old has called me an asshole.
What?
It's that day and age.
Dad, stop being an asshole. No, I don't even remember. What? Wait, settings. Okay. To be fair, he heard it from Dad first, so
Oh my god!
I learned it from watching you.
Power. We went light, neutral, boost. Wait. Yeah. Okay. I haven't earned boost yet. Okay. Cool. Got it. Let's go. Yeah, so I expect.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was just saying. So yeah, we expect the music to be much better here. What were you gonna say though?
I was going to ask about you got Pandemonium down there in the corner of your screen. Was that something you were playing recently that you have it on there, or is that just the default for your setup here?
Yes. This is just a old recycled stream overlay. I felt a bit nostalgic because this is an overlay that I used back during the pandemic or before the pandemic, and I wanted to bring it out from the mothballs, you know, dust it off and use it again. Because it was just a joke. It was actually just a joke that I did for Pat. I was like, I'm going to do like a living room stream and see if folks get a kick out of it, right? And so at that time, Pandemonium was the game that I was streaming. So that's why I had... And then today was like minimal effort. So I did not bother like changing that at all. I literally
looks
just...
rad, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, you know, I used to do like bespoke stream overlays for every game. So if it was like Alien Trilogy, there would be like a siren going off and a bunch of steam, and I'd be like, there'd be a xenomorph like dripping, you know, acid over my head, and like, I need to bring that.
That's a lot of effort, man.
Oh yeah, because I wanted my streams to be like more watchable than just like the kind of throwaway. Usually it feels like streams are kind of so like disposable, but I wanted them to be kind of like watchable. So yeah, I did that. You can do a lot with like transparent GIFs. I did an initial D stream where my face was in the rear view or in the side view mirror, and like the background it's crazy. And I've archived all that stuff. But you know, I used to stream on Facebook, and that was such a bad idea because they just kind of like threw away all my VODs. So there were several streams that I did, like a virtual casino stream with like a roulette wheel and everything like that, and it's gone. I can't get it back. So yeah, it sucked.
I set up my own Unraid server just to hold all my streams on because I don't trust Google.
Yeah, no, you are smart. We shouldn't trust Google either. And actually, like Saturn Memories, you know that so well. Like you recently had like a drive go bad or something, right?
Yeah, I had a Toshiba drive just crap out.
Which happens.
Yeah.
But you also have like so much footage, so much capture, and you have that stuff all backed up somewhere aside from YouTube.
Yeah, I mean it is on one of my other drives.
Okay.
I don't think I had it on the Toshiba drive. I had a whole lot of other important stuff on that one.
Yeah.
I lost.
Yeah. Oh man, that hurts.
And all my videos are technically on I mean they're on YouTube, and you can get all of that stuff back in its original quality. But that means downloading the entire contents of your channel if you want to. You can't pull one video specifically.
And it's not the same. I mean, YouTube does compress. Like so like I watched this Marquise Brownlee video where he downloaded and uploaded the same video several times, and you could see like just getting crushed the more that he did it. One time probably isn't that bad, right? Like it's still probably really good quality, but it's not going to be like the same as like the virgin, you know, video that's on your drive, you know.
I believe the source videos are still on their servers.
Really?
Because they have to.
That blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like how many videos are uploaded every day across the world to those servers? Like how much space? That's just an incomprehensible amount of space.
It's Google though.
It's Google. Yes. They're the fucking biggest tech company in the world, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the Chinese, like, what's the one Jack Ma owes? Maybe that's bigger. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
when we can figure out how to store data the same way our brains do, you know, like in neurons or whatever. I've heard about that kind of like almost like this is science fiction now, but it's like organic data storage or something like that, you know. That'll be
science
the day.
fiction anymore.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, like it's not consumer. It's not available to consumers yet, but it's like behind closed doors. I'm sure that scientists are doing stuff with that, but yeah, like storing data the same way that the brain stores data.
See, what I just do is like 18 terabyte drives now are actually kind of affordable for per gigabyte, dollar per gigabyte. I just get a couple. You need 2 extras for however much storage you want, but Unraid does a really good job at this, so that if one drive goes down, you still have 2 parity bits to rebuild the drive from the other drives.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got for my server a grand total of like 18 terabyte hard drives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Western Digital was having a sale, and I got those like 2 years ago, so it was like $300 per pair.
Okay. Can you a bit of a change of subject, but I kind of wanted to hear you talk about you went to the park the other day and did like kind of a memorial for Kurt.
I did.
Could you tell me a little more about that now that you did it? Because I know I talked to you when you were like going there, but
okay.
I'm interested.
Okay. You want me to tell you, or do you want me to tell our audience?
Yeah, just tell us, unless it's like private, unless it's something you don't want to share. But like those guitars are pretty sick. You show me pics of it.
I just don't know, like, if anyone's watching is going to care about.
I care. So it's the 30th anniversary of Kurt's passing a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, as in Cobain?
As in Cobain, yeah. And there was like a memorial.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Dave and I are both Nirvana fanatics going back to the 90s, and I'm pretty hardcore about just about everything I throw myself into.
Yeah, very.
And Nirvana was one of those things, particularly in the 90s. When I first moved to the United States, I got a job in the Northwest doing security, and the very first thing I purchased myself of any significance was a 1998 Fender Jag-Stang, used on eBay, shipped with case for $385. This is in 2001, before buildings got rammed into. And I was pretty proud of that. It was the Fender that Kurt had conceptualized and tried to get designed. And then later that year, we took our first family vacation up to Seattle, and my mom somehow, we went to what's now known as Mopop. It was the Experience Music Project, and you could see like on display Kurt's guitars and his lyrics, like his original lyric sheets and stuff like that. And we ended most of that trip by going to the house on Lake Washington Boulevard, where he was found on April 8th. So April 5th was the day that coroners had determined he had passed. And for many people, it's kind of been like this pilgrimage, I guess, to go there on the day and kind of reminisce. I took a photo of my Jag-Stang on his bench, and people have carved and wrote in Sharpie like notes to Kurt over the years. Yeah, I saw that. It's kind of a, just a hero worship that might not necessarily be the healthiest, but there was a true voice of generation thing that's not a cliche there. Like you spoke to a lot of us. Definitely. Flash forward, and I had gotten that guitar worked on by my luthier, and that was 14 years ago. We finally finished that project about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, about 4 days before I took it to Seattle. And I had also gotten, so that was the one with the black pick guard, the 98. Okay. The lighter colored one with the white pick guard, they did a reissue of the Jag-Stang in 2021. Yeah. And there's a guy on YouTube by the name of, he goes by Nirvana Guitars, did some deep dives, and he's been trying to make recreations of all of Kurt's guitars through various album eras and known performances. He's really meticulous about it.
God damn.
And he made a version of the 2021 Jagstang, but based on the actual physical prototype that Kurt played, not the production model that Fender gave us. There's a lot of differences. If you have any interest in weird guitar mysteries, I'm going to put a shout out here to offsetguitars.com. There is like a 100-page forum post where two guys who are just very OCD about things went into the creation of that guitar, often going to like the sources and debunking a lot of information. It reads like a mystery novel. It's really trippy.
Really?
If you're a guitar nerd. Yeah.
Cool.
But it all rotates back in. He found that thread, discovered things about the prototype. He wanted to make the newer model like the prototype, and found people to help him do it. I basically kind of copied that with my 2021. And so I took my 98, my 2021 out to the park next to his old house, and there were a bunch of people there. I think I got there like 5:30 in the evening. We sat around and like talked with each other. It was pretty quiet for the most part. Somebody did some sort of blessing thing, which was kind of strange, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just kind of, talked and told each other our stories. And there were people who had, 50s, 60s there. There were people in their like, teens and 20s.
Yeah.
There was a couple that actually met. That was like their 2 or 3 year anniversary, but they had met at the park on April 5th, like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they have a child. So,
that's crazy.
That's what it was all about.
Well, thanks for sharing. I wanted to follow up on that and kind of know a little bit more about what you guys did. So that's cool.
I'm sorry for
I walked into a store the other day and I was wearing a Nirvana shirt, and some like 13-year-old girl, she walks past, she's like, "That's a really good band," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're okay." I'll take your word for it.
Do you think she was?
No, she's
just
just
like a 6 or 7-year-old one who wearing that, like a similar shirt while we were in Seattle the week before.
Name 3 songs. What? 3 Nirvana songs? So I'm gonna go with Lithium. I know that's a cop out, but it's a really good song. I'm gonna go with On a Plane because I love that song, and then I'm probably gonna go with About a Girl. But oh my god, then there's like Any Royalty. What are your favorites, Kay? Yours are gonna be like super obscure, probably.
Oh, okay. There's a song that they were working on. It never actually made it onto an album, but there's like a sound check I think that they did at like the Palladium.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to go into a deep cut? This is where it is. The song has multiple different names. It's been called a bunch of different things, and the only version that I liked was never an official one. They put it out on the box set, like with the lights out box set, and I didn't like that version. But the version that I had from this bootleg in Australia has always been like hands down my favorite. I think they finally went with the title of verse, chorus, verse for that, but that title's been associated with so many songs.
Right.
So, assuming we're not going to get a copyright strike here, because nobody knows the damn thing.
Well, you're not going to play it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Guitar is slightly out of tune from the start, but that's, like, its beginning is, So that's how that one goes, and I don't know who's going to claim title. Beyond that, Come As You Are has always been a favorite. I love the water chorus on that.
Funny, that's the first song I ever learned to play on guitar. Come As You
Was
Are.
my second.
And I used to play it in guitar shops, and they'd be like, "Oh no, not that again," because that was like our generation's stairway, you know. Do. Yeah.
To be honest, that song sounded like a Vocaloid going through the Discord audio.
Yeah, it did kind of sound like a Vocaloid kind of effect. Yeah. There you go. You're like, I'm using my Discord pedal today.
Don't make that.
Yeah.
Right,
No, but here's the thing. It makes sense because Discord is specifically tuned to filter for human voice audio.
Yeah.
Like it's not trying to be a guitar.
Right. You actually have to. You can do music through Discord, but you have to like basically take off all the gates and filters and everything like that, and then you can play music through Discord. But yeah.
Oh, Pixel, that's pretty rad.
Pixel.
I went to Aberdeen. Yeah, Pixel Poppy Productions in the chat said that they lived in Aberdeen when they were young, which is Kurt's like hometown growing up. That was pretty neat.
I swear, I keep firing these missiles and then don't hit, even when I've got like the dude right in front of me. I do not. What's that now?
What are you playing?
I'm playing Cyber Speedway or Grand Chaser.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. And I'm starting to get nauseated. Like it's actually like, you know, after a while, it like just kind of.
It's too much.
Yeah, like the shaky
It
camera.
looks fun though. I haven't touched that game since we did like the driving podcast.
Same. Yeah, same. Like literally, this is like the first time I've played this game since 2017, I think. And but it's good. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. Like, considering this is like one of those games that can be had for relatively cheap, I think it's. I recommend it.
You actually kind of want to shoot ahead of them, and
is that right?
Yeah, because like
so like it fires ahead and then it like drops, and it's when it drops.
It'll drop and it'll explode, and then it'll like probably give you about like 2 seconds for them to drive into the explosion, and then they take the hit. You don't want to try to drop it. Don't try to drop it directly on top of them. Shoot it out in front of them.
Okay.
That's kind of like what you do in like flight, like dog fighting.
You lead,
right?
yeah.
Lead. They talk about it in Top Gun.
That's interesting. Good to know.
No. Nobody used Top Gun as a reference for any sort of military anything.
No.
That guy should be like brought up on charges multiple times throughout that movie.
Fun fact.
I think they addressed the second one, right?
Fun fact. I work where they filmed that. In the old military barracks where they filmed that. Although it's not a Navy barracks anymore. It's just like a civilian. Like I mean, they still have like all of the buildings haven't changed the buildings, you know, for historical purposes. But it's all like, you know, it's basically an arts district now.
Hey Dave, sometimes I gotta get going, but this has been fun. And sometime tonight I want to try and get you a call. I got some questions to ask of you, my friend.
Well, heads up, or you have to like leave this second?
I do. I have to go meet the fam at the grocery store.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we do need to talk because I have to talk logistics for PRGE.
What is that? Like, I need to like specifically put on my calendar months ahead of time. I have to do this one.
Late September, early. I forget the dates this time. Did they change it? Okay.
I think it did change, but it's, I think it's retrogamingexpo.com. Hold on.
Yeah, it's in the fall. It's got to be like late September or early October.
Oh gosh. Wow, that's it. Okay, so it looks like it's September 28th and 29th. They're having the Tetris part of that tournament. So 165 days from today and 20 hours.
Yeah, and there's a lot of prep that we're gonna have to do.
A lot of prep. Okay. Well,
so we're doing a panel. We're doing a panel, but we're also doing a room, and it's going to be the SEGA Lounge. So it's not just Saturn, it's Sega.
Right.
And I really want to I really want to have like, I don't want to go overboard, okay? Like I definitely don't want to go like way overboard with like a museum or anything like that, but what I would like to do is have each console represented on its own table. And have some fun with that.
Let's chat about it off stream. And
yeah,
see.
for sure.
There can be some mystery to those who might show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I gotta get more than one Saturn.
Oh, I'm sure that's easily.
Yeah.
All right, I will maybe try and chat with you tonight then.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that might work.
I might also be available tomorrow. But
Jesse just got back from a Boy Scout camp out, and he's at a soccer game right now. But once he comes back, he's gonna want to spend time with me.
Mode.
I'm in dad mode, yeah. Cool. So I'm only doing this because he's not here right now. So anyway.
All right, man. I'll see you guys later.
See
Bye,
ya.
chat.
Third place. That's not good.
So is this like some sort of qualifying point system where like you have to consistently rank high in order to go past a certain point in the game?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. See, I just lost. I have the choice to continue. I'll try to come in first, but I don't know if that's going to change anything. Hey, JD Flash Studios, play 3D Blast. No, he knows that. He knows that gives me. Does he know? Do you know that like 3D Blast gives me nausea, like motion sickness?
How?
I freaking love it because the camera rubber bands it like yoinks you around. Like it doesn't have. I don't get motion sickness with the Genesis version, but with the Saturn version, I won't be able to continue the stream. I'm almost getting nausea as it is with this game.
It's top-down isometric. Like I cannot imagine getting motion sick from that.
Look it up, Emerald. I'm not the only one. There are forums of people saying like, I really love this game, but I can't play it because the camera whips around so much that it starts to, your stomach starts turning, you know, before you even know it. It doesn't happen to everybody, okay? Like
it's just so bizarre to me because like I can't even play Wolfenstein or Doom without getting motion sick.
Yeah,
but I have.
Yeah, I have to say I'm probably more afflicted by this than most people because let's see, I could play like an hour and a half of Alien Trilogy and then because of like the what is it called, the not depth of field but like the field of view, I guess.
Oh yeah,
it's so
the
narrow.
Field of view is really bad.
Field of view, yeah. So yeah, I specifically remember doing that stream with Pat and Ben, Alien Trilogy. We got about 90 minutes in, and then my stomach started turning, and I was like, I'm so sorry, chat, but I cannot play this game anymore. It happens more to me with like older retro games, 3D games, or games with a low frame rate. It's funny, it doesn't happen with vanilla Daytona, but it happens with Daytona CCE for some reason, and I have no idea.
But is there like a visual difference between those two?
There's something different. I can't. I mean, you would have to judge for yourself, but like I really have a hard time with motion sickness, and maybe I should take like Dramamine before I stream. I don't know if that would help. Because I hate making excuses, but it's true. Like I actually really like Sonic 3D Blast, and it's a game I recommend to folks, but I have a hard time playing it myself. On the Saturn, that is.
CCE actually runs at a higher frame rate too than vanilla Daytona on Saturn.
The frame rate isn't the issue though. I think it's more the field of view. Like they definitely, that is changed on. There's a lot of like trackside detail and the field of view causes me to, I don't know. I was playing it with Double Dime. And I got through like 3 races with him, and then I just started getting really nauseated, and I had to tap out. And I swear he probably thought I was just making excuses, but he was beating me anyway. So yeah, I felt really bad, but I just like, I can't play this anymore.
Don't feel too bad. That's by far the worst version of that game.
Right?
I feel like it is.
I mean, I completely agree with you wholeheartedly, but it makes some folks in our community a little salty because they really like it. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry you like bad games. Like, I don't know.
It doesn't play like Daytona.
This is true.
It does not play like Daytona.
And this conversation is so like cliche by now. Like it's been gone over multiple times by everybody and their mother. Like it's fine. It's like it's fine. It's a fine racer. It's just I wish they would just take Daytona off of the case. You know, because if it was anything else, I would not be as hard on it. But because it claims to be Daytona, it just feels nothing like Daytona. And it's like folks who haven't played the first one, or they don't really understand what the whole like crazy drifting is about. They just think, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. This is perfectly fine. It plays perfectly fine. I'm like, okay, yes, but playing perfectly fine and is fine. You know, that's fine, but it's not Daytona. It doesn't feel like Daytona.
Yeah, like when you really get into the weeds with that game, like I had it as a kid, and I liked it, but I wasn't like in love with it like I am now. But like when you start actually like reading into the deeper mechanics of how drifting actually works,
yes,
then it just unlocks a whole new level to that
enjoyment.
Game. And makes it something special.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you can't. Now you're making me want to play Daytona. but seriously, like you can't do that. The 7.7 Speedway, like if you just take that final turn, like a normal turn, you're missing the fun, you know. Okay, so here, watch, Emerald. I came in first, right? You know, despite all the warnings, right, and getting my ass handed to me, I came in first. So let's see if I completely lost. If I lost, then I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this game.
I think you need to like consistently qualify. That's what makes sense to me.
It's coming in. I've come in first like every game. Like, so is it more about like time than coming in first? Like maybe coming in first.
It could be.
Maybe it's not enough to be first. You have to do it in under a certain amount of time.
Oh no! Look, you got the
I
rich
advanced.
guy.
Okay, I advanced. Hey. Oh. I guess that's it.
Can anyone like tell us what that said? Did he win?
Maybe that's the equivalent of getting the bad ending. Maybe it's the equivalent of getting the bad ending or something.
Well, are you supposed to like kill everyone on the track or something?
I don't know. I'm gonna play Daytona now because just because see here. Trying to do this.
There is definitely at least one more course, and it's that one with the minefield scattered all over the city.
Right. Yeah.
So they're keeping track of score. Like there's a score component to this game, and I think that might be what like you get bonus points for like your lap times and coming in first, whatever. But I think there's more to like. I think you need to actually game the points.
Oh, JD Flash Studio. He says I lost. But I was losing when I lost before. It would actually say like, would you like to continue? This time it didn't say that. Would you like to continue? It just like,
oh, I would hate if what Joseph is saying is true, where like they lock the actual story behind difficulty modes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I honestly don't remember that. I don't know.
Let's make
sure. Might be right.
I didn't get the game.
Normal. Everything should be normal. Arcade mode.
Remap it so you can get the individual gears assigned to face buttons.
Oh no, I'm just gonna do automatic like a pleb.
You want to do like shift down direct from 4 to 1?
Yeah, because that's the whole appeal of the game is how manual transmission works, being able to skip gears.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
JD Flash wants to know if Fighting Vipers is better than Virtual Fighter.
I mean, it's kind of like a matter of taste, I guess, right? Okay, that was sloppy. I could do that again. I start over. Is Fighting Vipers better than Virtual Fighter? Yeah, that's subjective. They're both good. I think Fighting Vipers probably doesn't get nearly as much credit as it deserves because most people talk about Virtua Fighter, but like Fighting Vipers is actually a really good game.
I think it looks better.
Better?
I'm not a fighting game expert by any stretch of the imagination, but like you can, as a kid, I could mash my way through Fighting Vipers and win the game. I could not do that with Virtual Fighter.
Oh yeah,
So
Virtua Fighter is a thinking man's fighter.
Yeah. So like I would say, Fighting Vipers is the much more casual fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is like, I don't care about the pop-in or like the somewhat low frame rate. The game still runs fast. It doesn't slow down, you know, despite the frame rate. And the drifting is just bliss. It's just perfect, you know. There's just no substitute. And I mean, Sega Rally is fun too. Probably debatably better game, you know, like. Actually, I don't even think that's debatable. I think it's kind of objectively better. Sega Rally is just almost perfect. But I don't even think
the draw distance is all that bad. Like,
right?
play Gale Racer. Play fucking Gale Racer. That's a game with horrible draw distance.
I mean, considering you got 40 cars on the track and they have AI that actually like does something, that's what I keep saying is like, I don't even think it's that bad. Maybe, I don't know, like they said it was bad in the press, and so then everybody was like, okay, it must really be bad. But it's like, for the time and for the fact that they didn't have Sega graphics library with this, they didn't have SGL. This was literally just like, this was like metal coating, you know, assembly. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not flawless. Like I'm not trying to say that, and I don't think Dave's making that argument either, but it's better than people give it credit for.
I mean, it's so much fun.
Just because they didn't have SGL at the time, I think everyone at least had SBL to do some stuff. Like,
is that
3D
Sega Basic Library?
I think that's what it stands for. That's so like they had basic file in and out and stuff and C functions. They just didn't have any like the 3D hardware, the 3D stuff that Sega built in for people.
Yeah. Welcome to Victory Lane. You made it. I was telling James last night, I was like, when I was 14 playing this game, 14 or 15, like I did not know Takanobu. I didn't know who Takanobu Mitsuyoshi was, and I was just like, this guy sounds really funny. Like, he has a really weird accent. I just thought it was some American dude that had a weird accent. I had no idea. I was so naive. Now, of course, he's like one of my favorite, you know, game composers.
Something similar happened to me with the singer from Persona 5, where I couldn't place why her.
Oh, Lynn?
She was pronouncing. I still don't have her name memorized, but like, she was
Lynn.
just pronouncing things exactly wrong enough for me to notice, but not to like remove the enjoyment of the song.
Right.
I was like, what is going on here? Like, why is she saying it just slightly off?
Yeah, like she's like, I'm a shapeshifter. You know?
Yeah, some like it's just every odd lyric is just like, wait, that
the hell did I just do? Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's, you know, they doing their best to pronounce English, but you know, with a very heavy Japanese accent.
That's why everyone needs to go the near route and just like have a made up freaking language, so you can't tell if it's pronounced right or wrong.
Says Daytona 2001 looks bad. It really isn't if you have a wheel, or if you play it in an emulator and adjust the dead zone settings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Daytona 2001 on the Dreamcast. Yeah, if you play it in an emulator, you can like tweak the dead zone settings, and it'll play a whole hell of a lot better.
Yeah, but even still, I've never gotten an emulator to do the Dreamcast analog stick well at all, and it becomes very obvious when you play like the Sonic games, where like you don't get the analog stick behavior like at all. Like even on the Steam Deck, it doesn't translate well on RetroArch.
For some reason, Oh, what's that?
I was just gonna say, for when I was playing it in an emulator, I was using Demel, and
Oh yeah.
it worked. And I was able to tweak the dead zone setting, and I had pretty good control over the car. Like, I mean, you can watch you can watch the video I shot of it. Like, I'm playing Daytona about at the skill level I can play it in any other version. So
it might be just because I'm using RetroArch because it's like the default way of getting emulators onto the deck. But no, like there's no subtlety to the analog at all. So like you kind of lose a lot of the. I would like to see you try to do the Sonic Adventure 2 grinding stuff with your setup to see if it actually replicates the proper analog behavior of the lean.
Oh, me? No, jeez, no. I hate that game. I fucking hate that game.
Really? Yeah,
I do not
Emerald
like
is-
the adventure games. I can tolerate the first one. The second one I hate with a passion.
I don't feel like they've aged as well as like they were. We all thought they were amazing when they came out, but I definitely don't feel like they've aged that good. You know,
Dude,
and
Sonic
I
Adventure 2 is a masterpiece. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Adventure 2 is a master. Well, but I mean, you're also
No.
super biased, Emerald. Like, are you not?
I mean, I play it because it's a good game.
Wait, because it was a good game. Okay, all right. Well, I can't say the same. Like I've tried going back to it, and I've just been like, it's just not. It doesn't. No, come on. Oh, I took that turn. That was so sloppy. That makes me want to start all over. Okay, that was bad. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't know. I can't agree about Sonic Adventure 2. I think that there are parts of it that are really fun, but the entire game I just don't think has aged nearly as well as some of the other.
I mean, I get
the
it.
other
I get,
characters.
Like, yeah, the people don't have the patience for the characters because it's supposed to be like.
Dang it!
It's not a dedicated single thing game. It's supposed to be like an experience. It's like playing Shenmue and saying, "Hey, I just want to play the cutscene action fighting parts."
I don't like Shenmue either.
I don't like then Shenmue, you're excommunicated.
Yeah, I also don't like Shenmue, but it's like saying you're trying to judge the game on merits of what it's not trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're supposed to like.
I gotta
you're
start
supposed
over.
to judge it as like a wide-ranging simulator, like almost like an MMO, where like you can go fishing if you want. I mean that's Sonic Adventure 1, but that's like an example.
Okay, if I can't get this, then I'm just gonna hang it up.
I try not to be too critical of games and genres that I'm not particularly fond. Like I don't really care for RPGs, so.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not. You wouldn't want to ask me to evaluate an RPG because I can't do it. I can't do it fairly.
I love me some RPGs, depending on what it is. I mean, I love like I'm having a blast with Persona, but I mean also like love stuff like I don't know, what's that game on the PlayStation that was like Parasite Eve? That's hardly an RPG, but it has RPG mechanics and stuff like that. I don't know. Would you guys
it's like
it's like every game has RPG mechanics anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like they all have at least some. I mean, people call the older Yakuza games RPG. They're not. They're adventure games with some RPG elements.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it took for what is it? Yakuza 7, whatever. Like they call it like a dragon. Yeah, whatever.
That's
for that to come out
original...
for people to stop calling 1 through 6 RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one actually is like. It has an actual leveling mechanic that makes sense.
And it's turn-based too, which is like one of the defining features of at least older RPGs anyway. I mean, I guess there's still a lot of turn-based RPGs.
I don't know why I'm so sloppy at this today. But you know, with racing games, I find you usually have to spend some time and get back into a mode. You know, from one racing game to another. You know, you can't just like jump into it and be. I mean, it's like riding a bike to a degree, but then you also kind of have to work on it to get smooth, to get like really good again. In this case, I'm just completely not doing well.
Do you play manual at all?
I do. I will. Like if I am like really getting back into the game, I'll do manual and I'll go all the way with like getting really good at the shifting, you know, up and down, assigning a different gear to each base button, you know, and it's just like for jumping in though, I just go automatic because I can't. I don't have that muscle memory built for the manual. It's like something I have to sit down and do. And then it's like I was doing that against Panda a while back. We were, you know, comparing times and stuff, and I did get really good with manual, but it wasn't something that I'm just like automatically like this. Like the automatic is what I have kind of like muscle memory for, so that is what I usually pick because I know I can just like jump in and play, and I'm gonna time out of this.
I've put so many hours into Daytona over the years that I can just memorize. Oh, I should be going 424 through this corner, or 4134 through that corner. You know,
right? Yeah. Why would I list my name when I didn't even place? I will do Seaside Galaxy though, real quick. Oh man. Expert. Oh, VBT is here in the chat. I didn't even notice.
I think he's just hanging out and listening.
He's just hanging. Yeah.
Do I like Sega Touring Car? Yes, I do. I don't think it's like it's definitely like the black sheep of Sega racers, but there are things to like about it. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Like a lot of people try to tell you.
It's incredibly misunderstood though. Like nobody accepts it as like a grip racing game. You know, they try to come at it like as a drifter. You know, and that's like the worst way you want to run it. The designers, like, I think they were maybe a little over ambitious with it, considering it's supposed to be like an arcade game. Crap. You know, like, but they knew that. They had like feedback that they had like negative feedback that was like, you guys need to change the difficulty, and they refused. So they knew what they were getting into when they decided to release it as it is.
Yeah, I don't even know that like the whole we designed it to be as realistic as possible claim holds any water either. I
mean, it's on the old website. It's literally on the Wayback Machine archived website. There's an entire write-up there and like a little guide of how to, and they say that they were like they were proud of what they were able to accomplish in terms of emulating what they thought was like realistic driving. They were like, we don't believe that this has been we don't believe that this has been done on any other racing game up to this point, you know.
Maybe that's
Gran Turismo.
I forget what the verbiage. See, because Gran Turismo hadn't come out yet, but I don't remember what the exact verbiage was. But they were like, we don't believe that this kind of realism has been matched yet.
Maybe that's what they believed, but
that's what they believed. Yeah, that's what they believed. I mean, granted, they were going for something. How close did they actually get? That's debatable, but I mean, that's what they were going for, at least, is like some sense of realism. And again, when you consider the fact that it's supposed to be an arcade game, it's gonna get crucified, you know, because you're not supposed to try to like have it be realistic. I mean, couldn't you kind of say the same thing about the Ferrari F355 Challenge? That's also kind of like a brutally difficult game, and that was an arcade game as well. Like way too realistic for what it was.
I haven't actually played that one. That's the one that Yu Suzuki was really gung ho on. He owned the car and everything that was in the game.
Right. Yeah, and I mean,
I've never actually played that one.
It's brutally difficult, like even on the Dreamcast. But I mean, even the arcade cabinet, and it's the kind of game that you'll have like Japanese arcade goers who are like really good, like flexing like how good they are on this like incredibly difficult game. But I mean, it's not an easy game to play, because it like tries so hard to like focus on realism. Dang, I missed that. Oh well. How many times have I? Oh, go ahead. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I do like Touring Car though. I think it is a good game, and if you do like shift through the turns, you are going to be able to stay on the track. It's hard, but you can do it.
We did a community challenge with it, and we got so good at it, so good at the game, even in automatic. I was just running in automatic, and I got so good at it that I couldn't hit a wall if I tried. Like I was, yeah.
Were you using tuned cars, or were you using the default arcade setup?
Yep, using the default arcade setup. I got super good at. I mean, I got incredibly good at it, and I wouldn't even recommend using tuned cars anymore. Like I mean, yeah, like we might tune, like for time trials, we might tune something here or there, like by a notch, just to eke out like a few extra milliseconds. But for the most part, I spent years telling people to tune their vehicle to get the car to behave, you know, like you would expect it to in like Daytona or SEGA Rally. And I've completely done a 180, and I don't recommend that at all. I recommend folks sit down and learn how to play the arcade mode with the cars as they are. It makes it's not like Sega RPG fan. He was in there, Double Dime, like several members of our community got like super good at the game within like a week, just playing it competitively against each other. And we put up like world record times on that game.
That's impressive.
And it really opened my eyes to like, oh, okay, this is not nearly as bad as everybody says it is. I was completely like trying to force the game to play how I wanted it to. Like I wanted it to just play and feel like Sega Rally or like Daytona, and it's so different than that. But yeah, I will say one caveat is that we were playing with the 3D control pad. You have to play with the 3D control pad. It isn't like you can kind of get by on the digital pad, in my opinion. Like it's because the way they didn't tune it at all for the D-pad. Whereas like with Sega Rally, they worked very, very hard on the algorithm to like make digital steering feel good and feel natural. With Sega Touring Car, it's like you're either hitting one wall or hitting the other wall when you play with the digital pad. You have to use the 3D analog so that you have like that nuance in the steering. But yeah, I put up a playthrough. I posted several playthroughs to the SHIRO YouTube channel, and like we were all floored by the fact that it was like everybody was so good at this game. We're like, this game's supposed to be difficult and impossible, right? And here we all are, you know, jockeying for position, and we're so good at it. So I don't know.
Watched the one you put up of the I think you put 2 videos up with the alpha, and I watched one of them, and yeah, I was impressed. You were doing pretty damn well. I think you were using
the one that I did recently. Yeah, I think I think one of the final ones that I put up with the alpha was like my best time, and if somebody came and beat that by like a second, you know, but still, it's like, yeah, like I doubt that I could fire it up right now and do as well, just considering that. But I could try.
It's a really cool game, especially stylistically. Like I love the aesthetics in it. I love the music. Just everything about how the game looks and sounds is wonderful.
Let me see if my muscle memory is still, because like we did this like a month ago, and it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. So I'm not sure. I might go back to sucking and having to like spend some time to like redevelop that muscle memory. But it's like we had it to the point where you weren't even thinking about hitting walls. It was more like really you were just thinking like, how can I shave a millisecond off of my time? So it was arcade side. If my save's on here, then we should. Okay, so my record. So arcade side championship 2 laps, 2 minutes and 50 seconds was like my best, and somebody beat me. Somebody came in and did like 2 minutes and 2 minutes 48 or something. So I mean, VBT, who's in the voice chat here, but is kind of lurking. I know he's incredible at this game, and He's incredible on a D-pad too. I don't know how he does it. He uses like the Mark 1 D-pad. I can't for the life of me comprehend. But anyway, so yeah, I just do championship.
It's because you spent so much time practicing on VTT Championship.
Right? VTT Championship. I'm just using automatic transmission, Alfa Romeo, stock, arcade, nothing special. Let me see here if I'm going to make a complete liar out of myself, or if I can. Let's see if it comes back to me in less than a. So, oh, okay.
VVT is telling you to play on Maniac mode.
No.
Is there a rocket start in this game? Because you started out pretty fast.
No. Yeah, so see, I'm just playing with the 3D control pad. And, like, hitting walls is just not even... It's not even something I'm thinking about. That's a terrible run, by the way. It should be, like, 23 seconds or 20... It should be... Yeah, so, I mean, obviously I'm rusty, but like, I didn't hit the wall once there, right? You know, oh, I'm in 8th. Okay, I could do better than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
is that all your old times?
No. That's just like the qualifying. So watch, if I restart this and I actually like try to put, if I actually try to put some serious.
The computers are just really good.
They're just really, this game is up here in terms of like what they want from you. You know, it's serious. You got to be serious. So you really have to crank it right here on that first turn. Come over here. You don't want those RPMs to drop at all. You want to keep them up as high as possible. So anytime they drop, so you're doing like little hairpin improvements.
That's a pit shortcut.
Yeah. So you're doing like tiny little hairpin improvements on the steering without, because anytime you crank the steering too much, the RPMs drop, and that means your tires are slipping. So 4th place is terrible. I should be qualifying in 2nd place, but again, like I'm usually like sitting right in front of the screen and I'm like super focused. You know, right now I'm just kind of doing the stream thing, but we'll see like if I can manage to. I don't know. Yeah, I'm never gonna catch up to these guys at this rate, but yeah, like this game is just freaking fast. That's all I could say. It's just so fast. Yeah, so like I did an old video on the YouTube channel years back where I was like, oh, this game is, I'm an apologist for this game. It's not that bad. Tune your car, get it, use these settings and have the car handle like the, Celica and SEGA Rally or whatever, and you'll do fine. And now it's like that couldn't be further from the truth in terms of what I recommend. I just recommend folks play the game and experience it the way the developers wanted, because it's so good once you just get used to like the way that this game handles. It's like all about grip and all about keeping the RPMs really high. I wrote this like verbose article that's probably overwrought, and it was just going on about how I just couldn't believe that this game got such a bad rap, and I think it really is just misunderstood at the end of the day.
Like Sonic 06.
Well, okay, yeah, so I couldn't speak to that, but I'm sure you could, being more knowledgeable about that. Yeah,
no, that was a complete irredeemable piece of crap.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've heard. I wasn't going to argue with you, but I was like, okay, that might be a stretch.
People out there who will make the argument that is a great game for whatever. Every game has its apologists, though. So
every game does have its apologists, and that's why I can't it's hard for me to just say get good, or that it's like it's your fault that you think this game is bad. It's like obviously there's something. Obviously, the greatness of this game is hidden behind a wall of like difficulty that people just can't seem to get to grips with in a short play session. And I think that we all kind of agreed that it was like, yes, if you spend time with this game, you will end up loving it. Everybody that did in our community has like done a complete 180 and said, oh yeah, this is like up there in terms of racers, that they, you know, maybe not as good as Sega Rally or Daytona, but it's like in the conversation with those. Everybody that like spent time with this game. But unlike Sega Rally, where you can just pick it up and play, or Daytona, pick up and play, like this is not nearly as pick up and play. This is like pick up and smash into the walls for a while until you figure out, oh, okay, I'm supposed to like run it like this, you know? This is how the car handles. Okay, that was messy right there. Okay, yeah. This one right here is a drift. This is the one exception in the game, is that this track needs to be run kind of like a drifting course. And it's the only one like it. Every other course you really don't want to drift, but here you kind of have to. And like that was just really a really messy start. I don't think I can redeem it.
I know the top players with the arcade game, they just fucking go straight into the wall and bounce off of it. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's Double Dime, who actually did the best on this course. He found that worked the best for him. It's just go headlong into the wall and bounce off. I tried that. I really couldn't find the advantage. He was able to, but I couldn't. So I just decided, oh, okay, I'm just gonna run it honestly and just try to drift around these corners. And you know, it's all about like advanced turning.
Yeah, I don't like doing that sort of stuff in racing games. Like, I feel like that's cheating in my mind.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not gonna disparage anybody who does it.
Yeah,
because it's a valid strategy, but like for me, it's just not something I can get past mentally.
Yeah, so anyway,
I don't even try to do it.
All I can say is it doesn't seem to be for everyone, and I agree that it's not pick up and play. I do agree that it's not. Most people aren't just going to pick it up and be great at it within like an hour or two. But like Dan, I'm not going to replay that. Dan Thrax, who writes articles for our website and stuff, he participated as well, and he had to go with a CRT, because he was definitely playing with like one of those pound cables. I think he was having too much latency, and it was really because of the game so fast. It requires very twitchy, reaction times, and so he did notice that he had to play on a CRT. But he did quite well actually once he switched to a CRT. So. Yeah, so don't listen to 2017 Dave telling you guys to tune your cars with this game. Just do time trial and do free run and run the courses a few times until you kind of like have that course memorization, and then you'll see turns before they come up on you, and it'll get comfortable. But yeah, it's so much faster that when you go from this to like Sega Rally feels like it feels so slow, which it's funny to say, but yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna probably bounce because my son's home now, so I'm gonna do something, maybe take him on a bike ride or something like that. But yeah,
actually, I would like when you're offline, a recommendation for like a little carrier thing for the bike, so I can shove Emerald Jr. behind my e-bike.
Oh, a carrier. I never had one of those.
Wait, so do you have like a back seat, or does he just ride the bike with you?
Well, he's 10.
Okay, well that's fair.
He rides his own bike. I'm just saying I could take it for a bike ride because he just got home from his soccer game, so he might want to. And he's been gone over the weekend at a Boy Scout meet. But yeah, no, like when he was a baby, I don't remember having any kind of like bike carrier or anything like that. If anything, you could do like a trailer. I see a lot of folks do that where they have like the little trailer that goes behind the bike, and it's like open, or it has like an awning, so you can, if it's like raining or sunny, but then you can open it up if it's overcast. And we had one of those at Yosemite with the kids. And when Juniper was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, she rode in the little trailer and she loved it. And at least they're lower to the ground. If you crash or something like that, it's possible that they won't sustain as much of an injury as if they're up on the bike, you know? I don't know. But I can't really, it's hard to say because I never had that. So it's cute though. How old is little Emerald?
1.
Wow. Time flies. It feels like it was yesterday that I was helping you out with whatever diapers or whatever on Amazon.
The registry.
That just feels like yesterday to me.
Pictures.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I want to see some pics. That would be great. Unrelenting STT propaganda. Well, I mean, we had a conversation. I wasn't planning on trying to sell folks on STCC, but you know, Saturn Memories we were having a organic conversation. I can agree with most of his points. I'm just saying that it's not as terrible as folks think. It's actually
I wasn't disagreeing with you. You know?
No, you weren't. But I'm and in fact, that's what you were saying is it's not as bad as it gets a rap for. But I'm just saying I think that folks don't realize that it's actually you spend a few hours with it and you'd be able to play it just fine the way that it's designed. Anyway, it was a Saturn stream, Cafe Man 2D. You missed, we played Cyber Speedway, which is like Grand Chaser in Japan. We played some Daytona. We played some Sega Touring Car, all racing games. I should probably play something else besides a racing game. So I'll try to do something else next time. Thanks for joining me, everyone, in the 90s living room. And until next time, this has been SaturnDave, reminding you that you must play Sega Saturn, and we'll catch you later. I'll see you guys, okay?
Bye.
Thanks for joining me. Peace.